Hi, Dr. Joe here, and I want to give you a post-match cool down that you can do simply, quickly, and easily. Now, when we do this, we want to accomplish two main goals. The first goal is to get enough muscle contraction to pump some of the waste product out of the muscle that you accumulated during the competition. The second is to move the joints and the muscles through their full range of motion, which will help with that clearing process, but also stretch the muscles out slightly. If you do have extra time, you can actually finish your match or practice, complete the dynamic warm up just because it's going to contract all those muscles in a way that helps clear things out, and then complete this piece, which is going to get the stretch and tension across most of those muscles, and you'll have some contraction. It just won't be as intense. So we're going to start at the arms and with the wrist. So what I want you to do is basically throw your arm out in front of you, let your fingers come straight. You're going to use your other hand, stretch, come out of it, stretch, come out of it. So you're going to roll it up and roll it out. And that way you're contracting the muscles as you come up, you're stretching them as you come out. You'll do that about 5 to 10 times, and you can do it on each side. Now notice we went this way first, so we also want to do the opposite direction. So you're going to make a fist, you're going to drop down, and you're going to pull this way for a little bit of tension. You'll come back up, same process. And again, we'll do the other side. And you'll do that one about 5 to 10 times. Next, we're going to take the arms up here. We're going to drop as far as we can into internal rotation, as far back into external rotation. We'll do this for about 10 repetitions. This can help pump and clear out the rotator cuff. Good. Then we're going to drop down. We're just going to go all the way overhead and all the way back down. While we're doing this, you should be squeezing your shoulder blades back, opening up your chest, trying to get a stretch across the front of your body. That'll be another 10 repetitions. Then we're going to bring one overhead. We're going to bend the elbow down. We can add a little bit of pressure onto that hand, and that's going to give us this tricep stretch. We can do a few that way, and then we can do a few where we pull the elbow over. Again, we want to always bring it back up to that position and then down into the stretch. Same thing on this side. A few pushes at the wrist, and then a few pushes across the shoulder, or at the elbow to stretch the shoulder. And I like to do a few big openers here. After that, we've really gotten the shoulders and the arms pretty well. I'll do a few neck rolls to make sure we're going through all of our range of motion in the neck. Might bend to the side each way. This is where you might get some cracks and pops, which is fine. And then a few twists and turns. The neck gets a pretty good amount of stress during a tennis match, even though we don't necessarily think of it. We a lot of times think of the shoulder. We want to do the same for the spine. So we want to get the spine maximally rounded so you can lean over the end of a chair, round it all the way down, come back up. Round it all the way down, come back up. We'll also do extension. So you can do what I did there, which is a few rounds first and then a few extensions, or you can put both together where you roll down, stretch up and back, roll down, stretch up and back. About 5 to 10 repetitions. You kind of go with what feels right for you. Want to put a little bit of a twist across the spine, so I'm going to roll to the other side, grab my knee, twist. Opposite side, twist. Twist. Do that a few times each way. Good. I'm just going to bring my other leg up on my knee, press down on my knee, feel a brief stretch, relax. Brief stretch, relax. I'll do this a few times on one hip, a few times on the other hip. This is external rotation of the hip. Then as I drop down in front of me, what I'll do is I'll drop my knees in. This is internal rotation of the hip. Slightly different motion, slightly different muscles. Good. Now we want to stretch the hamstring. So what we want to do to stretch the hamstring is sit up nice and tall, maybe even get a forward lean, and then we'll kick the leg straight. Lean a little bit more forward. You'll intensify the stretch, so now we're lengthening the hamstring. Of course, we want to do this across both legs as well. Good. I'll then typically rock the ankle a few times, move the knee joint through motion. Again, we're going to do that both sides. Good. Might get some cracks and pops. Awesome. I also would typically like to finish with some heel raise, toe raise movements. And then maybe even a little bit of stretch through the ankles. Might even hit there, drop the knee down. It's going to be a stretch across the soleus instead of the gastroc. So it's just a slightly different motion. So it's this. Now put a stretch pretty much across all the other muscles. The last one I might do is go into a wide stance, bend each direction a few times, twist each direction. And now we've pretty much covered every joint for a cool down. We've gotten some stretch and lengthening across all the muscles. We've hopefully gotten enough muscle pump to pump out that waste product. Again, you can dynamic warm up as a cool down right after the match and then do this, and that's kind of your optimal cool down. Cactus on the end would be perfect. Good thing to do before you get back in the car and head home, which is when a lot of stuff stiffens up. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for tuning in.